This Monday, the 12th day of December 2022, we're coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, today, Monday, the judiciary has held a special service to pay tribute to late Justice Ruby Opio Awere. At an event ongoing at the judiciary headquarters in Kampala, the judiciary has recognized the late Awere, who was in the judicial system in Uganda for 39 years at different levels. The event follows a ruling allowing the judiciary leave to hold the special service, which has been presided over by Chief Justice Alphonse Owinye Dolo. And may his soul rest in eternal bliss. Now, the Joint Security Forces of the UPDF and Anti-Stock Theft Unit ASTU rescued 169 animals from Napak district, which are believed to have been stolen from Katakwi. The animals were driven to Olilim holding grounds in Katakwi, where farmers in Katakwi were invited to select their lost animals in the presence of residents of Napak. According to the police spokesperson in Karamoja, Sub-Region Longole Mike, there were some people who were arrested in the process.
The 6th of December 2022, and they were founded in the areas of Alekilek, Marapoint, and Beduru. They were founded because there were a lot of complaints from areas of Palam, Momoja, and Katakwi here because of cattle thefts. To create, we want to create transparency in the handle of the cows, such that both sides go when they are satisfied with what we are going to do.
We are not settled. The situation is bad. Only that I first of all want to thank the security personnel because they do their best. They recover the animals. They even follow the animals on foot. But only that our brothers here in Karamoja, these people are not patient and they are not sympathetic because every day they are here in Teso for the animals and they rob. At times they even kill. Because they are armed, they move with the bow and arrows, so they injure our people. Even they do rape.
The impounded animals are brought here to Teso because this happens to be Teso. Otherwise, in the other incidences, it has been this team of Katakwi going to Karamoja. And the cost of going, you might find that these people have to hire vehicles, have to hire motorcycles. Somebody can spend over $1 million following 2 cows. So it's a very tough situation for us, but we want to thank the army for the first time to see that they have impounded animals and they have brought them here. Impoverished, people are scared of even buying the animals, and yet that is the basics that we could do to help our households. As a district, we have come up with the very stringent resolutions. One, we have resolved as a district that Karamojongs should not come to graze in Teso. And we have outlined the 4 reasons. One, whenever dry season sets in, that's when we begin to lose the animals. When they graze near us, they steal the animals, and they disorganize any follow-up because you cannot even follow the footmarks. Secondly, Katakwi almost every year suffers with foot and mouth disease, and we are quarantined. Even in just recently, most sub-counties were affected, especially those that are bordering Karamoja. So for that reason, you find that even when we vaccinate, like we have done vaccination now, Karamojongs most often do not vaccinate theirs. Even when vaccination takes place and they are within, they don't accept theirs to be vaccinated. So we feel they should not be able to cross to Teso so that our animals are secure.
Leaders in both sides, they are not reaching in time. You find leaders from Teso will come, leaders from Karamoja refuse to come. So you find that the leaders don't come in the way we have invited them. So that one becomes a challenge to us because it delays the whole process. The community of Teso, it is in Teso where these thieves, these cattle rustlers cross. The people of Teso don't cross to Karamoja to steal. That one is a fact. And of course, we have told these leaders of Teso, the LC ones, to have a register of the cows in their villages. They should have registers. If Longole has 2 cows.
Now, bioethicists at Makerere University College of Health Sciences are calling upon the government of Uganda to formulate a law that is specific for research in the country, and also urge the public to fully engage in generic research in order to make informed decisions. The remarks were made by the principal investigator, Professor Erisa Mwaka, a bioethicist at College of Health Sciences, at dissemination workshop for ethical and social issues in informed consent process in Africa genomic research. The project was about the permission given by people to researchers to use information and their body fluids such as blood, saliva, stool and urine, among others. Take a watch.
Oh, sorry. That's because he has been
at genetics research. We really need to be careful because at times the results that come out of such research can affect an entire family. It can even affect an entire community. And that's why we went in for this study. Because genetic research is on the increase. Okay? We have quite a number. In the past it wasn't there. But we also realized that our laws, our guidelines are not moving fast enough with the developments in technology. That's why we really need to stimulate them, come up with this information, come up with evidence, show them the evidence so that they develop, they develop better guidelines, better laws based on what we call empirical evidence. So, the major findings, some of the major findings from this study, we find that people are willing to participate in genetic research, but then they have concerns. For example, like I said, for somebody to give permission to research, to put them in a study, they need to understand, and you can only understand when they give you enough information. But the problem is, many of our participants are not educated. Now, like I asked in the room, there is what we call genomics. Do we have any name for it in Uganda? Maybe not. Genetics. Do we have any name for it in Uganda? Maybe not. Everything is ndagabutonde.
To Chiriandongo district now, where alcoholism and poverty have continued to fuel gender-based violence among refugees in Chiriandongo refugee settlement. Now, the women there say their drunkard husbands always beat them without genuine reasons whenever they return from drinking joints, on top of selling foodstuff for alcohol. The men also, however, complain of campaigns for women empowerment as one of the reasons some women tend to disrespect them, hence leading to gender-based violence. Now, this was during testimonies given during commemoration of 16 days of activism aimed at creating awareness on issues of GBV in Chiriandongo settlement over the weekend by partners being spearheaded by Action Against Hunger.
She changed how he starts drinking alcohol and move on with their friends. When the man reaches at home, when needs sex, he will force in harass way, not in polite way. When I refuse, immediately he start beating me there and then. He can tear everything in my body as the children keep on seeing. Sometimes when he lack of money, he took what I have inside, like more so the food items. I move with the tears. I have no solution for that problem, and I don't know where to report myself to. So I was really so confused of what is happening to my life.
Whenever I talk to him, he's so rude, and he rarely sees the children. He does not want to attend any ceremony about them. I've handled the children in the hospital with dangerous operations, me as Rachel alone. I have gone through violence, emotional, psychological. I am at this level, I'm growing old. I have not upgraded. Father drinks and comes home drunk. That is the beginning of it. Secondly, poverty.
This program of being empowerment to the women, it have created even some women to go extra mile. She have educated highly, and she have got an office. Maybe the husband is a gatekeeper. So definitely the woman will undermine the husband.
You see, some women, they're drunk, they come and fought with their men. For example, I saw one day, I went, there's a village called Kikonge. That village is total people like drunk.
So in case of any complaint at that level, the refugees report to the cluster leader, and cluster leader attempts to solve that problem. When it fails, then it comes to our office. So here there is a line of management where grievances can be addressed.
The action against hunger in commemoration of the 16 days of activism, but also trying to bring the community at the grassroots together to understand the challenges that they are facing, and also to synergize on how best we can help them or support in overcoming some of these challenges. And the stories are coming out that are showing that really violence is real, but also the issues of rape that is happening around this area, that how do we come in to support these people and ensure that rape is also not rising alarmingly like we have had. Because we assume that men know, but most of them don't, that it's violence anyway. Yeah, so how do we bring them to appreciate each other's role and also to control some of these vices?
It is 13 minutes after 1 in the studios of UBC TV. We'll now take a short break and return with business news. Do stay with us.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Fun battery phone.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Capote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Capote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Capote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And you have everything you need to believe.
Get value for your money by choosing the right paint. With Global Paints, you don't just paint, but paint for generations to come. Make Global Paints a paint of choice and make your building a paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss and high gloss. Global Paint, a reliable product.
The
festive season is here and it's Christmas in 4G from Airtel. Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda, now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones this holiday season.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. Happy holidays this festive season with Airtel, the smartphone network.
Oh, Susan, I want to propose to Rose. Yes, and this time I am serious.
Have you guys had sex?
Duh, of course.
And have you had sex without using condoms?
Hey, Nga, you're curious.
I'm more concerned. Are you having sex with other people?
Hey, hello, is this an interview or what?
No, just things you should think about. Do you know Rose's HIV status?
Okay, this is serious. Should I be worried?
It is actually serious. Do you know your HIV status?
I think I am safe. Many times we get into situations that put us at risk of HIV. However, the first step to ending HIV is getting tested and knowing your results.
It's Time Up HIV. Call 0800-211-046 or text 8080 toll-free for more information about how to prevent HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ministry of Health with support from USAID.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
Welcome back from that break, and this is Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Business news now, and fish exporters and processors want government to fast-track signing of the China-Uganda export protocol so that they can fully access the Chinese market following tax exemption by the Chinese government recently to a tune of 98%. During a fish exhibition in Buikwe district, Uganda fish processors and exporters said if the fishing industry is streamlined, especially tackling illegal fishing, Uganda has the capacity of increasing its foreign earnings on fishing to $500 million a year and $1 billion after the first 5 years. However, Fisheries and Researchers Institute is working on some of the new technologies and is also encouraging fishers to venture in silver fish to curb illegal fishing.
Types of fish, different kinds of fish, and nutritional imbalance.
Of course, our biggest challenge is still illegal fishing. It is rampant illegal fishing, which we still wish that it is controlled. On a day-to-day basis, we lose a lot of our fish to illegal fish, and we are seeing also a lot of fishing in breeding areas, which really undermines our stock base, especially on Lake Victoria and Lake Albert and Lake Choga. But as you are aware, the UPDF Fisheries Protection Unit is doing a lot to make sure that that Vice is also curtailed. They are not sleeping.
What comes with overfishing is a decline in the fish in some of our natural systems, but what we're exhibiting also are some species that people can venture into culture, what they're calling aquaculture farming, and these we have at our stall. Right now, there is a lot of talk about mokene and the ways of fishing mokene, and the conflicts between mokene fishers and Nile perch fishers, and why do we use solar light and the ban of solar light. So we're trying to look at, that is one area of research, mokene fishing, and the ways people should fish mokene sustainably without conflicting with other fishes.
One project which is part of this rural development cluster, and by having this fish festival we really aim to create an awareness, because as you earlier also said, it is really relevant. We have the small scale fishers and also farmers, but also fishers here in this case, who earn their living out of it. So we must ensure that they are capacitated on the right fishing methods, that illegal fishing is not there. So capacity building for those fishermen, so that their sustainability of their business and the fisheries is there. That is one of the main targets.
Our aim first and foremost is to contribute to food security for the population in Uganda and in East Africa, you know. Now that means foremost to get food, fish into the market here, you know. If we sell some into the export and people earn from it and have income, they can buy food as well. But foremost, we want the fish to go to our markets here. And we are happy that even Nile perch, which in the olden days, you know, was seen as an export fish. Nowadays, a lot of Nile perch goes to the local markets, you know. More than 50% of Nile perch is consumed within the country. And I think that is very, very important, you know, because people need to eat. We cannot sell our fish outside and then our people starve. Or our people must import fish from somewhere, you know. Let our fish be consumed here. Whatever we have as a surplus, we export.
Now, in the next phase of digital connectivity in Uganda, National Information Technology Authority, NITA Uganda, seeks to expand electronic procurement services across all ministries, departments and agencies. The plan is contained in the upcoming 5-year Uganda Digital Acceleration Project that seeks to spur on current ICT infrastructure across all districts in the country. The Executive Director, NITA Uganda, Dr. Hatwib Mugasa, says the $200 million World Bank funded initiative also has 18% earmarked for cyber security. With more on that, here is our reporter, Henry Okrot.
A number of our CEOs were saying that these contracts are awarded in restaurants to certain people who give bribes.
This was Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Ministry of Finance, Dr. Ramadan Gowi. And this was part of his submission during the recent Presidential Chief Executive Officers Forum at Chobe Safari Lodge in Mwea District. His was the quest for expansion of e-procurement services across the country.
This will increase transparency and also give us the audit trail to be able to really follow up these people who are using our public resources to do corruption.
It is a plan and point of view shared and taken up by Uganda's digital promotion and monitoring body. National Information Technology Authority Uganda has in its next phase of ICT service provision lined up e-procurement as top among its priorities.
This is going to cut down the cost of procuring, the time and cost in the procurement process. It will also reduce or eliminate corruption.
Currently piloted in more than 22 ministries, departments and agencies. Expansion of the same will reduce on bureaucracy, middlemen and corruption.
We want to make it a digital procurement process in government, from the point of initiation of the procurement process to signing of the contract. We want that to all be digitized. You'll even sign digitally, and that is very hard to manipulate or to corrupt.
This is part of the 5-year Uganda Digital Acceleration Project, or UDAP, as goes its acronym. It is a $200 million World Bank funded undertaking, split into a loan of $140 million and a grant of $60 million. 18% of the funding is set aside for cybersecurity.
We are building a cyber war room. We are enhancing we have a national cybersecurity center, but we want even a bigger center that will monitor all the systems, all the traffic within Uganda.
Hard to reach areas are fully catered for, with plans to embrace underground and wireless connectivity integrated to reach island districts.
We want to have 80% of government services digitized. So 80% of all citizen-centric services to be digitized. All those manual processes where someone has to walk from one office to another office to receive a government service, we want to have it electronic, and that person has to just get onto his computer, type in his NIN, and the government shall provide services to him. That is our target for the next project.
Securing such funding is projected to save government more money on data storage and sharing, as has been the case in previous undertakings.
We are going to connect more than 20,000 government agencies. I say we need, there are almost maybe 1,000 systems. So just for the data center, we need about $20 million to enable us to run it to optimal speeds for the whole of government. But these systems are currently running in those government agencies. We need them to come to the data center, and then that's when we'll be able to save government all this money.
Such digital agenda is what NITA has been doing for the last 11 years of its establishment, to the extent of earning Uganda a second position of the World Bank Global Tech Maturity Index in East Africa. Henry Okrut, UBC.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Paying for groceries the old way.
3, 4, yeah.
Allow me. Paying for groceries with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to conveniently pay for goods and services. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
That's my wife.
Welcome back, and this is Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. Let's have a look now on an item of sports news, and it's not good news because the Uganda Cranes have been withdrawn from the upcoming African Nations Championship CHAN finals due to financial difficulties. According to FUFA President Engineer Moses Magogo, in a tweet sent out this morning, the President said, and I quote, "Like for the under-23, we are left with no further option but to withdraw the Uganda Cranes from CHAN finals because the Ministry of Finance has not provided the funds as appropriated by the Parliament of Uganda." The tweet went on to say that the sanctions to Uganda will affect the future if we don't take the hard decision now. End of tweet. The President, however, also apologized, saying sorry for the players and coaches who qualified the team, but it is the moment to face the reality. The CHAN competitions are slated for the 13th January to February 4th, 2023 in Algeria. The Uganda Cranes are placed in Group B alongside the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ivory Coast and Senegal. The team was due to start preparations for the tournament on December 21st. The CHAN competition is for the national team players based in their countries' respective domestic leagues. That's very, very sad news for not only the Uganda Cranes CHAN team, but also for the entire nation. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijananguma. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Bye for now.